Hey guys, hope everybody's enjoying the holiday season. I've got an early Christmas present here from good brother Caleb in Florida. So Caleb, thank you very much for this. He sent a really nice email, which I'm not going to read, but he did mention that he had a box of old G.I. Joe figures and he was thinking they might be worth something. But then he decided against that, and he said some really wonderful things about the videos that I've done here. And he wanted these figures and these parts to have a good home. So I really appreciate you sending these along. And the box, I've just taken a quick peek. I haven't gone through it yet, but just looking inside reminds me of those vintage toy shows that I've been going to. Sometimes they have bins underneath Rubbermaids and boxes where you get to do some actual toy hunting. So when the figures are up on the table, sometimes behind glass or plexiglass, and they're all in their nice little individual cases and separated, that's kind of nice, but more often than not, that's for a budget class that's out of my budget class. So it's nice to be able to buy figures like that, but I really enjoy the toy hunt, sifting through Rubbermaids and boxes and finding that hidden gem. So we're going to open this box up right here and take a look inside and see what treasures and gems are inside. These are all very special items to Caleb from his own personal collection. So I feel really honored that you've sent these along. Really appreciate that, and they will find a very good home. One of the things that oh man, check this out. Wow. That's gonna be a lot of good toy hunting. It looks like he's included a Python Patrol, Cobra Stun. Cobra Stun got recolored as a Python Patrol. So there's the box of it. And that's a lot glossier than the vintage boxes. I've got a few of the vintage Joe boxes, Sky Striker. Tony sent me the water moccasin a while back, and those boxes I think are duller matte, whereas I don't know if you can see the light gleaming off of this thing, but this is really glossy paper used on this, and there's the back of it too. So that's really high quality. I mean, in these waning years of Real American Hero, when I felt like they were really cutting corners just by repainting old things, giving them a new paint job, looks like one thing they definitely didn't cut corners on is the print quality and the paper quality, because that is nice and glossy, and the flag points in the bottom corner. That's awesome. And we've got, he sent along one of his favorite modern figures. This is Trapjaw from the Masters of the Universe 2000X line. And that is an awesome looking figure. He's got the little claw hand, other attachments that attach to his belt, a lot like the vintage one, and a working jaw. Oh, that's cool. Forgot he did that. Working jaw that actually snaps shut. That's cool. Trapjaw. Oh boy, there are a lot of Joes in here. I see. Oh wow, it's Zartan's file card. Cool. File name unknown, aliases too numerous to list, birthplace unknown. Oh man, that's awesome. And I remember hearing something about the Zartan file card. Did they have to recall, reissue something about it? Because there was something in his bio. It says in the bottom part, psychological profile, extreme paranoid schizophrenic. I believe that's the part that they had to redo. Something about parent groups, I don't know. Didn't like the wording of that, so this one, I believe, is one of the original ones before the recall. So that is cool. In just the past year or two, my file card collection has really grown. It's not something I've ever really tried to get, but they've just been adding up. Folks have been sending them along, and now I've got like a really awesome file card collection. So having an original Zartan file card is pretty cool. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. It is the lone Canadian G.I. Joe backstop, who came with a vehicle whose name escapes me at the moment. He's one of the later Joes, 87 or after that. But it's kind of funny, the first one I pick out of the pile is the Canuck. So that's really awesome. Super cool that there was an actual official Canadian G.I. Joe. He's from Quebec, which is still Canada. So that's cool. And he's, I was expecting these to just be loose parts, but this guy's great. He's nothing wrong with his O-ring there. He's in fantastic shape. Cool. Backstop. Who else do we got in here? We've got the upper body of Voltar, Iron Grenadier leaders. He's like a general of the Iron Grenadiers. Wow. He looks great too. So we got the upper body. We'll see if we can find the lower body in here. And I think this is another Iron Grenadier. Might be the anti-gravity pod pilot. So love me some pilot figures, because a lot of the vehicles, the aircraft, hold more than one pilot. Not the anti-gravity pod, but other ones, kind of like the Night Raven, can hold 3 pilots, even though it only came with 1. So it's cool to always be able to throw another pilot figure in with some of those other guys. And he looks really nice too. Oh, cool. This is Zartan's brother Xandar. And one of my favorite bios from vintage G.I. Joe. With how boisterous all of the Joe characters were, larger than life. I always loved this guy's bio, how it said he just blended into the background. No one even knew he was there. I've always felt a personal connection with this particular figure, and I love orange too, and his hair is bright orange, so that's awesome. And the O-ring is still intact. He's one of the trickier guys to repair. I actually ruined my original Xandar trying to fix him, because I didn't realize that his body's glued together because of the color changing gimmick. So when I tried to unscrew him, he wouldn't come apart, and I tried to unpry him and it just broke. So I realized you have to do a different type of fishing up through his body technique to replace his O-ring. But this one seems pretty good for now. So we got Xandar. Oh, no way, Shipwreck! Oh, that's awesome! And his hook isn't broken either. There's some great figures in here. Good old Shipwreck. I've always been meaning to get another Shipwreck, because I've got a vintage one on the vintage G.I. Joe shelf, and I wanted a vintage one for the flag. You can't have a USS flag without a vintage Shipwreck on it, but he goes for a little bit more than most of the Joe figures do. So that's great. I'll have him on the deck there, maybe telling Salty where to swab the deck. And a lot of the time, the little hook on the side that holds either the gun that had a loop on it, or his string with whatever they were, blades thing. A lot of the time it's broken off, because it's basically like a thumb, maybe even more fragile than a thumb. We got Shipwreck in here too, and another great O-ring on him too. Oh, awesome! This is the pilot I was just talking about. This is the pilot of the Night Raven. So I've been looking for another vintage Night Raven pilot to put in with the other pilot that I have, so that I have 2 of them sitting back to back in the Night Raven. So he's a little on the loose side, and I've actually got some extra O-rings that I picked up from eBay a few years ago, so that's going to be very easy to repair. Oh boy, lots of cool guys in here. This looks like one I'm not too familiar with. I'm going to guess Desert Scorpion, one of the later Joes. So always awesome to add some of the 87 and beyond figures to the collection. Yeah, he's got a Cobra symbol on his arm, so and he's also got the flap on his helmet, kind of like 85 Dusty had. So that is another cool figure. I like his little antenna on the top of his head there. That's really awesome. Who else is in here? We've got Charbroil. This is one of the later Joes I don't have. Flamethrower guy, and he's got a busted O-ring, and you can see how they just pull right out here. So we've got the upper body of Charbroil, and we've got the lower body of Charbroil. So we just need to find his waist, which is, I'm sure, in here somewhere. That's someone else's waist, I think. But that's awesome. That's another later figure I don't have, and I'll squeeze him onto the G.I. Joe shelf there. Snow Joes. It's good old Iceberg. And being Canadian, I've got a pretty good contingent of Arctic G.I. Joe vehicles, so I can always use an extra Arctic troop to stick in those vehicles. Good old Iceberg. These are really nice condition too. These look barely played with. Wonderful condition. All right, who else do we got here? This guy. This looks like a ninja, like from the was it called Ninja Force? It was one of the later years. I know they made a Storm Shadow, Scarlet, and Snake Eyes figure in that line. And he's got this kind of leather material that hangs off of him. And yep, it is one of those, because I know the Storm Shadow that I have, he can't, his waist can't move side to side because of these little nubs that are in there that prevent that. So look forward to learning who this fellow is. Hey, that's kind of cool. Look at that. It's like an actual action feature. He's got a spring in his arm. I don't think I noticed that on the Ninja Force figures I have. Maybe they're broken on the ones I have, or I haven't even tried. That's cool. Alpine. Man, this is going to take a while, folks, because there's still quite a few in here. Well, we got the Mountain Trooper Alpine and No Broken Thumbs. This guy is one of the most notorious G.I. Joes for broken thumbs. He is not made of the same softer material for the elbow and down part as most Joes are. And this guy, I think, breaks a lot more than most vintage Joe figures do. And another one just in fantastic shape. I think some of these look better than the ones I have. And I might be swapping out the ones I have on display for these instead. And this, to me, looks like Backstop's helmet. So we've got some accessories in here too. And yep, that is Backstop's helmet. Wild. Well, he'll be definitely driving one of my tanks with the Canadian flag emblazoned on it. No way. I've been searching for this guy for years. This is the Navy SEAL tracker. And I really, really wanted one of these because he's a SEAL, just based on solely being a SEAL. To have him alongside Wetsuit and Torpedo. But he's another one that goes for a little bit more than most Joe figures do. But that is so cool that I finally have a tracker. That's awesome. It's kind of like Micah's gift box where he sent the Dusty, and I'm like, I was looking for that. And some of the other figures, I was looking for these. The search ends. I've finally got a G.I. Joe tracker. So that's Tracker, tracker, as in like what Spirit was, a tracker, not double K like Matt Tracker. Oh, but that's fantastic. This is one I've always been looking for on eBay and at local toy shows, just trying to nab one for a decent price. And got him now. That's awesome. Sweet. This is Hydro Viper, one of the Aquatic Cobra figures. I always loved how his one hand has this fin sculpted on it. See how the fingers have webbing in between them? Always loved that. This is one of the later Joe figures I had when I was younger, and I really liked them. And I've got a couple of Cobra boats, submarines, so can always stick him on one of those too. Kind of like a pilot figure. You can never have enough aquatic figures in G.I. Joe. Oh boy, this guy really sticks out in the pile. No idea who he is. Bright chartreuse. I'm guessing he's a Cobra, but I'll need to figure out who and what he is. He's got a Cobra symbol on his arm, so he's some kind of Cobra. Slaughter's Marauders. Know this guy. This is Barbecue. So they did some repaints of some of the original G.I. Joe figures in later years. And they gave him a blue and green and brown color scheme. So that's Barbecue. Shout out to Chucky Latham, another firefighter. All right, I see a camera and scoop. So we've got the G.I. Joe reporter with his backpack and his camera, so he can cover all the battles. G.I. Joe versus Cobra. Sweet. And he does have a different sculpt. I forget the guy he's based on, but he's based on a real reporter, I believe, or a news anchor. And the face sculpt definitely looks like it's based on a real person instead of a more generic looking face like most of the Joe and Cobra figures. We've got an Iron Grenadier. This is another original figure that I don't have, but I've been searching for. So this is the top part of an Iron Grenadier. And I think we'll find the rest of them in a bit. This is Downtown's backpack. So Downtown was the second G.I. Joe mortar soldier. I always thought it was supposed to be Short Fuse, and for some reason they didn't use the name Short Fuse for it. Maybe they lost it, or I don't know why, but that's an awesome figure with a lot of accessories. So that goes with Downtown. Neon green missile launching weapon. Let's see, we've got some bat legs in here. It's cool to find a piece of a figure and wonder, is the rest of them in here? It'd be awesome to have another vintage bat, because you can never have enough vintage bats. And for some reason, a lot of those army builders are so expensive. This looks like it goes with one of the later wetsuit figures. Which one was it? Version 2, 3? I know there was a black one with orange on them and a black one with yellow on them, but I guess this goes with the yellow one since it has the little yellow nub in the back. There's, what is his name? Slipstream, voiced by our old friend Dan Gilvezan. So there's the upper body of Slipstream. This looks like the legs. No, that goes with someone else. This looks like the legs of maybe an Ice Viper. Cobra Ice Viper, maybe. These legs right here, I think we saw that guy earlier. Charbroil. Awesome. So just need a new O-ring to revive this Charbroil figure. Very cool. Badger, I think. I believe I had this one when it first came out, that bright green G.I. Joe buggy. I think this is the antenna for it. Cool. That is a sweet looking crossbow. I don't remember who it goes with at the moment, but this would look awesome with Storm Shadow or Zartan or Xandar. Oh, these ring a bell. Oh, cool. Oh, sweet. This was a later version of Cobra Commander, so still need to find his waist in there, but I had this guy when he first came out. Had to get him because it looked like you could see what his face looked like in there, because he comes with just slightly translucent plastic. So when I got him, I pried that thing off because I wanted to see what he looked like, and he looked like some angry dude. And then I ended up painting the visor just to cover up his eyes a little bit, and even though I like the look of that, I've kind of wanted the original version too. I never bothered to, hunt one of these down or buy one, but I always thought it'd be nice to just have the original version of what it looked like before I painted it. So that's really awesome. One of the, I believe, 90s Cobra Commander figures. Who else? Yes, it's another Snow Joe. It's Blizzard with removable helmet. That was a really awesome figure. Lots of cool accessories with this guy. Skis and ice shoes, gun. Really cool figure. We got a dog. This is Order, who comes with Law. German Shepherd. And we still got quite a ways to go. Oh, this is awesome. This looks like a Motor Viper, stun driver. So I can load up my stun with another Motor Viper. And that looks like the bat waist. So we're a little closer to completing the bat. Slipstream's legs. Now that we're getting near the bottom of the box, we're starting to get the lower parts of the bodies. What are we missing off of Slipstream again? This is now becoming a double hunt, because we're hunting through the first box and hunting through the second part of it too. There's Slipstream, so we just need to find his waist piece there. This is Downtown's helmet, which looks like it did its job. Looks like he took quite a hit. I don't know if that was just created like that, or maybe what I used to do was take a magnifying glass sometimes to add a little bit of battle damage. That's what that reminds me of. Toxo Viper, I believe. Another one I don't have. So can load up the Cobra Terror Drome with a Toxo Viper. Oh, this is so cool. This looks like the gun of either, I think it's Eco Warriors Flint or maybe Ozone, I'm not sure, but you connect this hose to this backpack, you can fill it with water, and then it's an actual squirt gun. You can squirt water out of here. Another Cobra, I believe, and his name escapes me, but he is a cool looking figure. I like these things on his legs. I wonder if they're supposed to hold like missiles or something. He's got these nubs on his legs. Cool mask too. Beautiful, beautiful paint on it. These are all clean and wonderful condition. No cleaning required here. That's a really cool looking figure. Kind of looks like a pilot. All right. I think it might be a part from Rolling Thunder. I just got one not too long ago. I believe this might be come off of one of the silos, missile silos, and reveal more missiles inside. Oh, cool. I love these retro, like the old school ones. This is Thunder's helmet. Well, it's a brown helmet from one of the accessory packs, but it's the antenna and the black visor from Thunder. It looks like the visor and the antenna are from the original Thunder. That's cool. Those look great on any tank driver. Monkey wrench. So got another Dreadnok here. Cool looking figure. All right, and there he is. It's another Navy SEAL. It's Wetsuit. So that thing we saw earlier goes with him. You'd think there'd be like a plug on the back to allow that to connect to his back, but it's more of a sled type of thing. It's got these handles on the tops, and the figure's supposed to grab onto it and ride it. Probably a little quicker and more efficient than the original little thing, little underwater engine scooter, whatever that thing was that the original Wetsuit came with. And the great thing about this figure is that the helmet comes off. So now we can actually see Wetsuit, because the original one, the helmet was not removable. All right, looks like this is Scoop's helmet. So just piece these guys together as I go. That's an almost complete Scoop right there. Sweet. I was just thinking I wish I had another one of these guys, but they're not the cheapest Joe figures out there. It's a Cobra eel. So I've got a hydro sled that I really wanted 2 eels on it. So now I can stick a second eel on the hydro sled. No way! I was just talking to my buddy Louie about this guy. It's w.o.r.m.s. So I think, if I'm recalling the conversation I had with Lou, he's the maggot driver, I think, and w.o.r.m.s, maggot driver, his guts are coming out, but this is awesome. This is one of those figures that is this a helmet? This looks like it might come off. I've never held one of these before. I don't think it's a helmet. It looks like it might be a separate piece, but it is. Oh, that's awesome. So I've got the top half of w.o.r.m.s. I love how he looks. I love the kind of formal looking outfit that he's got here. It's an interesting color for a Cobra. Cool looking mask. Some people use them to make a custom 3 3/4 Rocketeer figure. But that's a figure I never thought I'd have. So cool. Awesome. I just love that I've got all these extra Cobra figures to add to my Terror Drome. All right. This looks like a Spirit version 1 backpack. Quite a bit of stuff still in here. These look like Dreadnok legs, and that's a Dreadnok upper body. And this is Ripper. So, and there's his waist too. Now this is especially cool because I gave in a few, maybe a year ago, a couple months ago. And got all the Dreadnoks because I wanted to have them for videos going forward and also for photography. And the guy who was selling them all, the one that didn't look too good was Ripper, but I said, whatever, be done with it. And he had a lot of paint wear on him, the one that I have. And this one looks fantastic. So this is going to be a really nice upgrade to the Ripper figure that I already have. It'll be especially nice when I get around to doing the actual individual Dreadnok figures, because I like those to be in as good a condition as they can be when I do the whole 360 swag review on them. This is a helmet. I'm not sure. This might be Long Range's helmet from the Thunderclap, maybe? I'm not sure. That's cool. Hit and Run. This is an awesome figure. One of the really cool later G.I. Joe figures, Hit and Run. Just love the camo from head to toe. Even his skin, his face is camoed. So there's the upper body. Oh, you know, even though this guy, the color scheme is a little on the bright side, I really, really like him. His name escapes me at the moment. Desert Fox Driver, I think, but I just like how he looks. I think he's an awesome driver figure, so I think he'll look great driving maybe one of the extra Aw-Strikers that I have. Really like him. Oh, orange again, I guess. Maybe that's it. Oh, cool. Naga hide. Got another Dreadnok in here. And he looks fantastic too. Really, really nice looking figure. Yeah, just needs a new O-ring and he'll be good to go. Ready to raise some havoc. This is, what is this thing? This kind of looks like Zap's bazooka, but a different version of it. I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, cool. This is a part from Tracker. Yeah, this is totally turning into a double hunt now. Where did that Tracker figure go? So this Tracker figure came with a whole bunch of stuff. It came with an inflatable raft and these paddles to paddle the raft. So this is one of the paddles that goes with Tracker. And oh, there's the upper body of the bat we saw earlier. He's got one of his little removable claw hands. Awesome. The great thing about bat figures is even if like this one looks like it's missing the front sticker, even if you have a bat that has like a broken part on it, broken thumb or chip or paint wear, whatever, because it's a robot, it actually I think adds to the look of the figure that it's been through a little bit of battle damage. And there's the waist piece of good old Hit and Run. I got one a while back and I didn't notice it when I bought them. This front loop part was broken. So it's nice that this one right here is intact. And again, in really nice condition. So I think I'm gonna have to go through my my shelf of Joes, where are they? Right back behind me, and do some upgrading when I'm done restoring all of these figures. And oh, no way! Are you serious? This is it's Storm Shadow. Oh man, that's awesome. The Cobra Ninja. I've been doing a deep dive on Storm Shadow these past couple weeks, doing the history of Storm Shadow 80s edition for a Patreon special request from Iron Lord's podcast. So I'm totally steeped in this guy right now, and I know how rare and valuable he is. So like, wow, I can't believe he's in here. That's amazing. He just needs a new O-ring. And you know what? Let's do it right now, because we've got to fix this Storm Shadow. I've got a little screw here, and I've been meaning to do this on the channel for a while. Maybe I'll do another one with like a first-person view, but I just want to quickly replace this guy's O-ring. It would probably be nice for folks out there who are seeing a Storm Shadow that's busted. See him restored right in this video too. So just a quick tip, while you're putting the new O-ring in, you just have to pop the O-ring into the hook right here. One of the tricky parts of replacing an O-ring is when you feed it back through the waist piece, sometimes it won't go through. So I just use the screwdriver that I use to unscrew the back screw, and I just stick it in there and use it to pull that out. It's as simple as that. So then you take the back and you take this little post right here and you put the O-ring around the post. And if you do it right, it should just hold on by itself like that, if the O-ring is the proper tension. So then the other tricky part is getting the head on without having the body collapse forward. It's much easier to do if you're doing it on like a flat table, instead of trying to do it in the air, showing it off for a camera. And then you just take the front part. I like to at least try to get one arm in there as I seal it back up. And then it's a little easier to just kind of separate the body and pop the second arm in, seal it, pop the screw back in. And this is the part you should probably be most careful about, because back in the day when we used to do this, it was no thought given, just unscrew and screw and tighten. A lot of this plastic is a lot more brittle than it used to be. So you want to feel and you want to listen to how tight you can get it. You might not be able to get it as tight back in as it was when you unscrewed it. So that's just one thing I like to keep in mind when I'm tightening again, because I've had a couple of guys that I've repaired break. The plastic's too brittle and the post inside breaks, and that's a shame. But here's Storm Shadow with a brand new installed O-ring. Oh man, that is awesome. The White Ninja. So I'm really looking forward to finishing up that History of Storm Shadow video. It's going to be epic. There's a 5-minute preview up on Patreon right now for all the members of the Patreon tribe. But thank you so much, Caleb. Man, that's a huge, like, all of this stuff is so awesome. But this guy, in true ninja fashion, snuck in here. I'm just going to leave him up here so he can keep his eyes on you, because the ninja does not turn his back on anybody. We've got a stand, and it looks like it's an original stand, not one of the fan-made repro ones. So it's always a little scary putting a figure on one of these stands. You don't want to break the heel, but always nice to have those. And I really like the color of this one too, actually. Most of the ones I have are black, but I think OD green is just perfect for a Joe. All right, these are the legs of the stun driver. So put those on there. This looks like a, whoops. Oh, that's, whose is that? This is a little radio sneak peek, possibly. I can't remember. It's a little ring here. I'm not sure. It says seal. It's a little seal ring. It's a little tiny for me, maybe a pinky ring, but that's cool. Looks like Wetsuit's face on there. That's awesome. Nagahide's hat. We're starting to get into the parts where we're through most of the figures. So now it's a parts hunting bin. So we're going to find Nagahide right here. And cool looking hat for Nagahide. All right, this looks like it's from a vehicle or a playset, some kind of gas tank. Yeah, feel free in the comment section or wherever you're seeing this, posted around the internet, what it's from. It's got a no smoking sticker on it. Let's see, this looks like a part from Trapjaw. This is another one of Trapjaw's attachments. And here's the legs of the Iron Grenadier. So we'll leave those over to the side. This is the duffel bag of Hit and Run. So a little hook comes out of there. He's got a knife that goes on the side. Very cool. Let's see. This is a helicopter pack from one of Destro's Iron Grenadiers. Or not an Iron Grenadier, but one of his, not an actual trooper, but I forget what the figure's name is, but you plug that into his back and he flies around. This looks like another Cobra Arctic trooper, and I'm not familiar with who that is, but another snow troop. I think he'll look fantastic in a Cobra Wolf, along with the Ice Viper. Sweet. This is from one of the battle stations, I think. It's a machine gun, and you can actually, looks like you could push the bullets through. It's got a little stand on it too, so you can rotate the gun around. That's awesome. I'm gonna take this thing off because it's cutting off the circulation. But I don't know, maybe this guy can wear it since he's a SEAL too. Lots of accessories in here. We've got a Tiger Force Dusty. Right there. And this looks like a visor that goes over top of somebody's head. Can't remember. Night Viper, maybe? Okay. This guy, I believe, drives Destro's Demon. So I've got a pair of demons. I don't think I have two of these drivers, but definitely same deal as the Night Raven. It's cool if you can get more than one of the driver or pilot figure in the same vehicle. So I think he'll look awesome as a co-driver of the Demon. Oh yeah, awesome. So we saw the top half of the w.o.r.m.s guy earlier. And that's his whole body. That's so awesome. Another really cool figure. Some really, really amazing Cobras in here. We got backpacks. That's a huge backpack. Look at the size of that. I used to think Glowlight's backpack was huge. Look how big this thing is, just to give you an idea of the size. That's enormous. Now this is an Ice Viper, I think. I think we saw his legs earlier. Right here. Yeah, so that's an Ice Viper, who I think goes with a Cobra Wolf. So I can load up my Wolf. That's a big bazooka. Cool. Wild. It says Fang on the side, so I'm guessing it's a Cobra accessory. This I recognize. It's the waist piece of Voltar, Destro's general. This guy right here. So we've got 2/3 of Voltar, and we got 3/3. There's his legs right here. Another Voltar figure. Sweet. This is going to be fun restoring all of these guys. Naga Hide has this little pet, this wild boar. He looks great too. Alright. Don't know what this thing is. It's made of kind of see-through, translucent material. We got a bomb. Cobra bomb, maybe. Another foot peg stand. Yeah, these fit pretty good since I think they're all original stands. Some of the fan-made ones, especially the ones on eBay, can damage your figures because the pegs are too big. The best new ones that I've seen are from Small Joe's, but the original ones are great too. Oh, we got the backpack, a wetsuit, so maybe we'll just put that on another seal right there. And here's some flippers for our other seal. You can swim around. All right. Battle Pack Gung Ho backpack. This is Slipstream's waist, I believe, so we can complete the Slipstream figure. This is Snowjob's gun, or a battle pack or reissue gun. This is the gun that all the Joes used on the G.I. Joe cartoon. And let's see here. There's a pair of legs in here. It looks like the middle T-bar is busted on them, which is repairable or replaceable. You just have to undo the screw in the leg, and then you take the T-bar out of another figure, maybe if you have a junker figure that can't be repaired, and you just pop it in the legs. So that's not an issue. And there's the torso, I believe, of, was it Ripper? Dreadnok we saw earlier. Oh boy, there's a lot of accessories in here. Oh, cool. I think this is from that Cobra Space Astro Viper, maybe? I'm not sure. I just picked up that Space Cobra at a local toy show for like $5 because he didn't come with anything. And I think this is his, because I had him when I was a kid, and I vaguely remember him coming with this, so I can give that to my incomplete Space Cobra guy now. Sweet. Oh, I know these. These come with General Hawk, the jetpack version of Hawk. Little missiles for him. Another one of these translucent little balls. Man, there's so much stuff in here. This is amazing. What does this do? Not sure if this is like a catapult or... Not sure. I got a lot of research to do once I'm done here. I think this came with the same set as this. Maybe there was another one that attaches to it so that they'll crisscross. Let's see, white Arctic looking gun. Huge backpack. I think that's Outback's backpack. Giant. And this is somebody's helmet. Not sure who. There's the flag, little flag that goes on both of them. That goes on the Python Patrol stun. So I don't know, if I get tired of my regular stun flags, I can always pop these on my stun. And this is, I think, the waist of the Demon Driver. So I don't think those are his legs. I think these are his legs. Maybe. So that T-bar, I think this guy goes together. So I'll just have to replace that T-bar in there. A couple of torsos in here. This is the Iron Grenadier's waist, I believe, because it had a little hook on the side to hook his sword onto there. So vintage Iron Grenadier to add to the collection. That's super cool, because I've got a vintage Destro and a Voltar. This is the one vintage Iron Grenadier, one of the ones I didn't have, so really cool to have him. Oh boy, hit and runs legs. So there's a complete hit and run figure. This needs a new O-ring. Rippers, jackhammer, battle pack, dock, whatever this thing was supposed to be, missile launcher or flare or something like that. This is from Cobra Commander. That newer Cobra Commander we saw earlier. And pop that onto there. So there's Cobra Commander, all repaired. And another waist piece, I think that goes with him, the Ice Viper. I think that's it for body parts. And the rest looks like weapons. So I think that's hit and runs. Machine gun. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is the cinder block from Road Pig. Oh, that's awesome. Breakers, little communications microphone thing. That's cool. Rolling Thunder again, I think. Antenna for Rolling Thunder, maybe. Can't have enough of these. Good old rubber hoses to connect weapons to backpacks. Appreciate that. Sneak peeks, binoculars. But I bet they'd look good on a Duke. Maybe a later Duke. Like the Desert Storm Duke that they made. And that's a ski. And this is the backpack for Blizzard. So the skis plug into the backpack like so. Lots of cool stuff in here. That's the backpack of Charbroil, who we saw earlier, I believe. Has a little nice hologram or lenticular sticker on the back there. This is a backpack for Voltar. Zorana's backpack. This is amazing. Alpine backpack and Alpine's pick. This kind of looks like a chainsaw gun. That's cool. What is this? Probably Slaughter's Marauders Barbecue, because it looks just like Barbecue's backpack except silver. Ooh. Oh, cool! This is Firefly's gun, and I think I have it, but the one I have, I think the stock is broken off. So cool to have an original OD green Firefly submachine gun, not broken. That's another really hard to find item. Snake Eyes' ammo pack just needs a little bit of hair dryer to straighten it out, or explosives pack. Mainframe's backpack. This looks kind of cool. This is Snake Eyes' backpack. It had this knife put into it, but that doesn't actually go with that. This is that's awesome. This is Snake Eyes version 2's backpack. So I could give that to my extra Snake Eyes version 2. And all of the posts are good on it too. Sometimes the posts on the sides that hold the sword are broken. Very cool. Another really hard to find item for a hard to find figure. Firefly's backpack. We've got some missiles, heavy ordnance. This looks like the missiles on the sides of the Snowcat, but they're in red. So it was for one of the recolors. Piece of a vehicle. Some more missiles. Oh boy, need another box here. Really nice looking bow and arrow type of thing. Missiles. Some sort of weapon that might look like it plugs into something. I don't know why I'm thinking Night Raven drone. Another backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through 3D Joe's or Mark Belomo's guide to find out what is all this stuff, where it's all supposed to go. And that's part of the fun, just finding a bunch of stuff that I know nothing about and learning about it. Duke's backpack, battle pack, Zap's bazooka, battle pack, recolor, very cool looking sniper rifle. Oh man, oh sweet! Snowcat windshield wiper. That's another one that a lot of people wish they had. And that's awesome. Bonus. Awesome. Another little missile. Kind of looks like the ones that go on the Skyhawk. That's the bottom part of an eel backpack. And missile, sword, and a couple more missiles, another bomb, a couple of these same types of bombs, and oh sweet, I remember this guy. This is from another one of the early battle packs. It's Short Fuse's mortar in gray. It's cool. Short Fuse was one of my first Joes. It's actually my second Joe, so I got a lot of nostalgia for Short Fuse and his accessories, even the battle pack versions. And battle pack backpack. And this is Downtown's mortar. And a backpack with some hoses on it. I have a feeling this goes with this guy. This gun with like a fin on the back of it. Probably goes with this wetsuit. That looks like Outback's gun, or maybe heavy metal. I can't remember. It's got a strap on it. That is sweet. Look at this bow. It has a quill of arrows on the front of it. I've never seen this one before, but that looks really cool. That would look great with maybe one of the later Storm Shadow figures, or an original Storm Shadow. And another weapon I'm not familiar with. Sweet looking machine gun with a big scope on it and a stand on it. Another one I'm not really familiar with, but that looks cool. Oh boy. This looks like maybe it spins off of something, one of those pull the ripcord and it flies off things. Really big knife. Maybe, why am I thinking Ninja Force? They had kind of oversized accessories like that. Airborne's M16 with a bayonet on it. And not sure whose gun that is, but there's, I think, quite a few figures had guns similar to this, smaller oversized pistol. A couple of more missiles, rockets, another rocket, another little rocket launcher, missile launcher. Whew. A pair of silver flippers. And this is a recolor of Snake Eyes version 3's backpack in red. Barbecue's water gun, which attaches with a hose to his backpack. Extra pack Flash backpack. Not sure what that is. This, I think, is Nagahide's backpack, which has a bunch of arrows in it for poaching. And this squiggly sword. And we're almost done here. Is this Zanzibar? Zanzibar on the side of his skiff. I think that goes there. Some kind of bladed weapon. Not sure what that is. Looks like it hooks to secure a figure into a vehicle. Something like a trouble bubble. Another stand. And that bat's missing chest hologram. Lenticular sticker. Is that... I think that might be it. This is one of the handles that goes on Blizzard's backpack. And... cool. This looks like some sort of a microphone. Really one of those easily lost teeny tiny pieces. Scoop maybe, I'm thinking. That's probably goes in Scoop's helmet since it's about the same color. Let's see if I can plug it in there without breaking it. Awesome. That looks like a pretty complete Scoop figure. Just need the hose going from his camera into his leg there, I believe. And the last thing is this thing, which maybe goes with Tracker, I think. It might be the visor that he came with. I think I'll have to look into that. Even if it's not, it looks awesome on him. And close enough to the real thing. Oh man, that's amazing. That is an incredible, incredible gift box. Wow. That was a lot of fun to go through. I'm glad that I could share it with you. I hope you had fun going through it as well. So huge thanks to Caleb. I wasn't expecting this, but man, that is so generous. I know how much this stuff is worth, and I also know even beyond that how much it was worth to you being from your childhood collection, which I think is more important than any monetary value. So I really appreciate it. I'm incredibly grateful for your generosity, and I'm very humbled. Really glad to hear that you're enjoying the videos. I love making them, and I'm so happy to see so many people are really digging them. So thanks for taking the time. Worms. I've never been so happy to get worms. He'll be the next one that I repair. Give him a new O-ring. But Caleb, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, good brother. Thank you so much. Everyone else, thanks for watching along. Hope you had fun. Feel free to help me out with what some of this stuff is. And until next time, everyone, Nerdmas Day.